interested in telling you about today? Well, the one thing with alkyds is reactive diluents. In terms of coatings in particular, regulation is very, very good. Because without regulation, the coating manufacturers wouldn't do anything. I know coatings that have had the same formulations for more than 100 years. And that's very bad for my students, by the way, because if you have the same coating and it works, why would you hire somebody as a researcher, right? So for us, regulation has been good. And the regulation we need is in terms of air pollution, okay? So there's a need to replace organic solvents, hence the word reactive diluents. You replace organic solvents with something that dilutes in terms of lower viscosity, application viscosity, but in the end, it reacts. So it doesn't emit into the atmosphere. We can talk of green chemistry, and one of the things that I saw in another presentation in terms of motivation, I won't pick on the particular company by name, but in fact, without perception, the perception of something that is bad for you that needs to be replaced, most of the R&D in coatings. So there's spots here where you go in and out, I take it, because I watched the other presenters. So that's a bad spot. I'll move over here. So most of the, anyway, so the issue is that a great deal of motivation is on perception. Now, I don't know how many have you thought about this, but one thing that was quite important in the last maybe 5 years is the bisphenol A, especially in Europe. A lot of pressure, and as a matter of fact, I know that every single international paint company is working on replacing bisphenol A epoxide in can coatings, and they're working fervently about it. Now, what you don't know is that you've been exposed to bisphenol A in food can coatings for your entire life, and somehow nothing bad happened. At any rate, perception is a real big deal. But anyway, how to make something more environmentally friendly in terms of alkyds, in terms of coatings? We look at it two ways. We can go for high solids, that means reduced amount of organic solvent, or a waterborne system, in this case with alkyds, water reduced. Since nobody has introduced alkyds thus far, and I feel good about that. I always feel bad when there's 3 or 4 talks and everybody has the same introduction slides. Then you can just skip through the introduction, but nobody's introduced alkyds thus far, right? Okay, so that's exciting to me. First reported in 1920s by GE in particular. In the beginning, guys, life is a circle. It's not linear. In the beginning, drying oils were the coating, and from the chain up to the 20th century. I'm old enough where I mix up the centuries now. The 21st is kind of strange to me. But up to the 1900s, drying oils were king. So linseed oil-based coatings, body, blown, what have you. That was the coating. After the 1920s, up to the 1940s or so, alkyds were the coating. And it's a perfect marriage between petrochemical and green resources, drying.